Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Let's Cap It with me, your host, Jamal Watkins. Thanking God for another God bless day, y'all. We're at the top of the week. It's cold outside where I am, but I'm thankful to be inside. And trust me, I'm thankful that we have this video exhortation that I believe the Lord has given me to share with you. Hopefully he gets glory out of it, and hopefully you'll be blessed. You heard me? Come on, let's get on with the business for while we're here. So let me ask you a question, y'all. Let me ask you, are you good fruit or are you bad fruit? Now, some people will say, yeah, I'm good. Most people, I think, will say that they are good. But you know what? There are some people who are big and bad enough to say, yeah, I'm bad, and I know I'm bad. Well, you know what? I want you to go over to Matthew, the 7th chapter, verses 15 to 20. And Jesus describes good fruit and bad fruit. He gives the difference between fruit that comes from a good tree and fruit that comes from a bad tree. Now, when I'm thinking of tree, I'm thinking of a source, because there are a lot of fruit that come from trees. You know, plums, apple, peaches, pineapple, bananas, lemon, lime. Let me speak to the last two. Lemon, lime. They're not sweet like the others. You know, you're not just going to peel a lemon and lime. This is delicious. Trust me, when you first bite into a lemon and lime, you're going to, woo, especially when you bite into like a pink grapefruit. They look great, but guess what? They're not sweet. But guess what? Also, they are high in vitamin C. They have citric acid that's good for burning fat in your body. And they have a number of different nutritional values. So yes, they are good for you. But I will tell you, coming from the source of it makes them good, you know. But when I'm thinking of the source, I'm thinking where it came from. Those fruits came from trees. I'm from the South, and I'm from a place where, as we call them, blackberries or muscadimes grew. Muscadimes can grow on vines connected to trees and stuff like that. And blackberries grow from bushes near the ground. And because I'm from the South, I also grew up in a place where we grew watermelon. And watermelon didn't grow on bushes or vines or trees, but they also grew on top of the ground. But they were all good. Most important thing about it, y'all, is that they were good for you and they were good to you and they look good. But let me just tell you this. When Jesus is talking about the tree that the good fruit comes from, or the tree that the bad fruit comes from, we got to know the distinction. Now, when I'm thinking of a tree, I'm thinking of the source. What type of source do you come from? Is your source your family? Is it the community where you grew up? Is it the people you associate with, your job? What is it, your church denomination or association? What is it? What source do you come from? And here's my question. Does that source make you good? Now, when you're thinking of it, a source could make you good or bad. It's where you come from. Now, as I described those fruits, they were all sweet, most of which were sweet, with the exception of the lemon, the lime, and the pink grapefruit. But let me ask you something. Are you good? Are you producing something that's good in your life? You know, theoretically, people that come from good backgrounds become good. And the same could be said of the opposite. People who come from bad backgrounds become bad. That's not always true. There's some good people that have come from bad situations, and then there's some bad people that came from good situations. The point I want to make is, how can you become good fruit? Well, I'm glad you asked. The way that you and I can become good fruit is if we are connected to the source. And you want to know who the source is for us? It's Jesus. You see, Jesus is the true vine. Jesus is our source. He is our tree. And he produces good in us through the Holy Ghost. I want you to go over to Galatians, the 5th chapter, verses 22 to 23. And it talks about the fruit of the Spirit, those things that produce in us that's good. You see, when you're connected to Jesus, you produce good. But when you're not connected to Jesus, just imagine what you produce. And not everybody that's associated with Jesus become good. Just like not every fruit on the tree is good. There's some fruit on the tree that's rotten. It's not ripe. They might have worms or bugs in it. Look, if you look at the disciples, Judas Iscariot was not a good piece of fruit. In fact, he became so bad. Well, you know the story. But I want to tell you that not all things that come from a source is going to be good. The only way you and I can be ensured that we come from a good source and become good is if that source is Jesus Christ. In fact, he's the only source that we need in order to become good and produce good. You heard me? So as I wrap up this cap, I want to ask you the question, what type of fruit are you? Are you good? Are you bad? Do you come from a good source? Do you come from a bad source? And if you come from a bad source, through Jesus Christ, you can become good. And if you come from a good source and become bad, then you know you weren't attached to the Lord. You heard me? So keep it locked in. We thank you for joining us on this episode of Let's Cap It. We thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing. I hope you continue to follow us on Instagram and TikTok. And I want to invite you to check us out on our newly launched website, www.pentecostministries.org. That's www.pentecostministries.org. We thank you for continuing to follow Watkins Pentecost Ministries Incorporated. We hope that either one of our social media platforms are a blessing to you. But as I wrap up again, hey, are you good fruit or are you bad fruit? You heard me? We'll see you next time on Let's Cap It.